I guess Ossoff is doing well. That's nice.
Why is this Ossoff's America? And that is because John Ossoff is hot-lanted. One of the reasons why that John Ossoff is climbing in the casualty prediction markets is there's a lot of interest in John Ossoff, not just in Georgia, but nationally. What are we looking at here? Well, take a look here. Google searches for John Ossoff up 300% versus last July. That perhaps isn't so surprising, given, of course, he is running for re-election. But I will note,
crazy that Ossoff was considered one of the vulnerable seats just a year ago, huh?
it's the most ever for him in a July. Most ever for him in July. So it's not just interest within Georgia. It is interest in John Ossoff nationally. And that is one of the reasons why he is, of course, making a lot of news. And also one of the reasons why he's climbing those casualty prediction markets is because he's making a lot of news. Just take a look at historic Dem performances. Georgia Dems for Senate this century. Look at this. The biggest win was Raphael Warnock back in 2022. He won by that race by 3 points. Look at how much John Ossoff was ahead in the recent Fox News poll. He was up 13 points.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I know it's been a while since then, but remember that people were talking about Ossoff like we're probably going to lose this seat in 2028, you know? Or sorry, 2026. That was the people were like, okay, well, this is our most vulnerable Senate seat. So he's probably just going to be a one-term senator. And now it's like, you know, fucking they're going to have to pry his skeleton out of the seat.
You carry Georgia, you put that into an electoral map, that makes the math much easier if you're a Democratic.
He can stop asking me for money then? I don't think he can. I don't think he can, actually.
And running for United States Senate, you show you can win in a swing state, and then, of course, you give those spiels that have been going all over social media, which is one of the reasons why his Google searches are so high. You say, hey, this is a coalition that might actually work.
And there are, what, 77 million other reasons why?
Yeah, I would just say, look at this, 77 million, top fundraiser for Senate this century. Money is what makes a presidential bid go, and he's shown an ability to raise a lot of it, the top fundraiser.
Can I hire the people who are doing fundraising for Ossoff? Can I hire them as consultants for my... Well, there's got to be some song and dance that I can do to turn all of you into yellow names, you know? God damn. He did well in his, in the Hegseth hearing. Man, the Hegseth hearing was such a fucking dumpster fire, dog. It was so embarrassing.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you all for your testimony. And General Kane, let me just begin by expressing on behalf of all Georgians our immense gratitude and admiration for the service members who are making tremendous sacrifices and conducting themselves with extraordinary selflessness and professionalism on behalf of the United States and our state's unified condolences and grief for the families of the 4 killed in action and our hope for a swift recovery for the nearly 100 wounded over the last 2 weeks. And thank you to you for your service to the nation. Mr. Hegseth, you're requesting roughly $68 billion for the department through this supplemental, correct?
67, yes.
And yesterday, your department stated publicly, quote, U.S. forces struck Iranian military command centers, maritime capabilities, missile and drone launch sites, and air defense systems to degrade Iran's ability to continue attacking commercial vessels. That was a press release from your department. Is that a broadly accurate characterization of ongoing operations?
That sounds broadly accurate, yes.
On day 14 of this conflict, Mr. Secretary, day 14, nearly 5 months ago, you stated that Iran's military had been, quote, destroyed and, quote, made combat ineffective. That was on day 14 of the war. Was that an accurate statement?
They didn't have a Navy any longer. It was completely sunk. Their missiles were buried underneath a lot of their underground facilities, and their defense industrial base has been almost completely destroyed. So as far as a military assessment of Iran's capabilities, it didn't mean by any stretch of the imagination absolute zero, but their capabilities at the lowest level.
You stated
yeah, we destroyed Iran's military capabilities 100%. Really doesn't work that well when we're still in this fucking quagmire, huh? It's not like super interesting to watch, right? Because it's just Hegseth evading like every fucking question. But it is kind of funny how they're still going to be saying this in a year.
Very long time.
On day 14 of this conflict, in the second week of the conflict, you stated that Iran's military had been, quote, destroyed and, quote, made combat ineffective. Was that an accurate statement? Yes or no?
Iran's ability to challenge the United States of America at the level at which we're capable of.
That's not what I asked you, Mr. Secretary. You said on day 14, Iran's military had been, quote, destroyed
I saw
and,
Jordan.
quote, made combat ineffective. Yes or no? Was that an accurate statement?
What the American military has done to the Iranian military is a historic military defeat,
answer the
and they're
question
ineffective
under oath?
in that context.
3 weeks later, you declared victory. That was now nearly 4 months ago. 3 weeks after you'd already said Iran's military was destroyed and combat ineffective, you said, quote, Operation Epic Fury was a historic and overwhelming victory. You said Iran's military had been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come. And you stated we had, quote, achieved every single objective. Were those accurate statements?
It certainly was, on behalf of the men and women in uniform, a historic military victory over Iran.
Had Iran's military been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come? That was a statement that you made 4 months ago.
They had 160 naval vessels
You need
in
to
the
answer
Blue Water
the questions,
Navy,
Mr.
and they're
I feel like
Secretary.
a kid getting scolded by a teacher. It works well here, I think, for one, because the Trump's crew genuinely is like mentally that like Trump's cabinet's average mental age is probably around the level of the girls that Trump was fucking over at Little St. James. Like we're not dealing with like adults in the room here, but he also doesn't let them clip farm. Like Ossoff, by maintaining a low tone, doesn't give Hegseth what he wants, which is to scream about Trump derangement syndrome or whatever.
Their Air Force is completely combat ineffective, and they don't have a defense industrial base. So describe to me a country that doesn't have an Air Force, a Navy, or a defense industrial base, and I will describe to you a country that does not have an effective military. It can lob missiles.
Mr. Secretary, you stated 4 months ago that Iran's military had been rendered, quote, combat ineffective for years to come. Has Iran's military been, for the last 4 months, combat ineffective?
It's been set back not just years, but likely decades.
You stated we had, quote,
build at the level it did before, and not even close. It doesn't mean it doesn't have capabilities.
Mr. Secretary, you stated we had, quote, achieved every single objective. Was that an accurate statement 4 months ago?
The main objective of this was to ensure that Iran never gets a nuclear weapon. Their main sites were obliterated. We're watching over them, and we're holding that issue. If they don't give them up at the table, there's other ways we can take them away.
Early in the conflict
Iran will
on
never
day
have
3,
a nuclear
Mr.
weapon.
Secretary, early in the conflict, day 3, you said one of those core objectives was to, quote, destroy the missile threat. And as you restated on day 5, to, quote, obliterate Iran's missiles and drones. Those were clearly and repeatedly stated core objectives of the campaign, which 4 months ago you declared had been completed victoriously with every single objective achieved. Were those objectives achieved 4 months ago?
No one ever stated that every single missile was gone. Ultimately,
he's getting handled so fucking hard here, dude.
combat ineffective means they're not able to dig them out of their
everyone
UGFs and shoot
had
at
the
us.
missile
It
threat
doesn't mean they
been
don't
defeated
have
4
underground
months
facilities
ago?
where they put missiles in them and hold on to them because they're the world's largest state sponsor.
Would it really hurt so much to admit an error? Yes. It is critical for the fascist movement, and especially this one, I think, uniquely among fascist movements, that they never, ever, ever admit a mistake, ever.
Terrorism. So we never expected they would stop having capabilities to shoot. The question is, at scale against an opponent like the United States of America, which went toe-to-toe with them, and Iran couldn't.
You stated on March 8th, day 9 of the war, on 60 Minutes, you assured the American people of Iranian surrender. Does that remain your prediction?
Ultimately, Iran will never have a nuclear weapon to threaten the United States of America. That has been the objective, and it remains so.
So just to review, you will not answer whether your statement made on the 14th day of the war that Iran's military had been, quote, destroyed and made combat ineffective was a truthful statement to the American people as you sit here and ask for tens of billions more for the conflict.
Senator's time has
A historic and effective military campaign against the largest state sponsor of terrorism.
Won't answer
will
the
ensure
question.
they never
Senator
get a nuclear weapon,
Peters
Senator.
is recognized.
It is very funny. He's been doing good in his ads too, not just his fundraising. Look at this shit, man.
I've investigated cases of sexual assault, and people need to know the truth about Mike Collins. Mike Collins voted against releasing the Epstein files, even after he knew Epstein's sex trafficking operation exploited 14-year-old girls for sex. Mike Collins protected powerful elites instead of our children. John Ossoff is going after the powerful and passed a law to stop child sex trafficking. We need John in the Senate.
I'm John Ossoff, and
Why do they always just ask questions but never finish with a conclusion? Because that's all they can do. It's a hearing. They can ask questions and note whether or not the questions are being asked or answered, but like that's pretty much the limit of their ability here. Senator Kennedy even grilled him. They might be looking for a fall guy. Kennedy and a lot of Republicans in the Senate, by the way, do not like Trump's cabinet at all. Like the Republicans in the House are a lot more susceptible to the ebb and flow of political populism, but in the Senate especially, a lot of these Republicans are basically just trying to like wait out Trump, you know? Not at all surprising to me that Kennedy would grill him. Not at all. Jesus Christ. Ossoff crushes in new Fox poll that has him at +13. Very, very good.